before all of that, we have today's guests, and they're best known for playing Emmerdale exes David Metcalfe and Layla Harding. Now, despite their on-screen relationship coming to an end, behind the camera, the pair are the best of friends and have teamed up once again. So to tell us more, here's Matthew Wolfenden and Roxy Shahidl. Hey! Yeah! Come on down! How are you?
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for coming down for a little bit of a visit. It's lovely to see you both.
It's nice to come down from up north to down south.
Yeah. All those miles away.
Yeah.
Now, Matthew, you were in the show for 18 years.
Yeah.
And that's finally come to an end. How does it feel to be out of the soap bubble after all that time?
It's weird, you know. It's really weird. I didn't have much time to think about it because last time I was on here, I was doing Elf the musical. So I
saw you in that.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, it was really good.
Was I all right?
You was good. You was all right. Don't worry, I'll tell you if you weren't.
Yeah.
She would.
So I didn't really have a lot of time to think about coming out of it, and I've been so busy since with what we've come on here to talk about today that
So you missed working with each other so much on the show that you decided to do another project together because you got a podcast, haven't you?
Well, yes, we did, but we worked together before that because we write together. Yeah. So it was while we were writing that we were talking about the fact that we've got these little side hustles. Like I do yoga, Matthew had a toy business, we write together, and we were kind of looking round the dinner hall going, I wonder what everyone else gets up to, you know? And that's kind of where the idea came from, because as jobbing actors, a lot of the time, people have little things, passions, projects, and so we wanted to find out a bit more.
Yeah, which is why the podcast's called Celebrity Side Hustles. Yeah. And, we're talking... At the moment, for the first couple of seasons, we're just talking to mates, really, about what they do on the side that people might not necessarily know
What have you discovered, though, so far?
Jessie.
So Jessie was our first. So you can access two of the podcasts so far. We've got Jessie Elland, who was in Emmerdale, and we've just dropped yesterday Rita Simmons from EastEnders and now Hollyoaks. So Jessie...
Well, we were working with Jessie for years, and your chat tends to be shop floor chat. You know, you talk about the job you're doing. We got her on the podcast. I couldn't believe the fact that she's 25 and she's a published author. She's got a first novel coming out next year. How incredible is that? And so she talked us through her journey, finding her confidence, kind of finally giving herself permission to write and pursue that. So it's really inspiring.
But this is the thing, people don't realise. They think when you're acting, they don't realise the amount of downtime that you have whilst you're shooting.
Yeah.
So much. Sometimes you can be in for 12 hours and you might have 3 lines. And on those days, you need a good book or you need a project. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got to keep yourself
That's
engaged.
essentially why we started writing together, because we were working together at the time, but we were always together on set. And we both had a passion for writing, and we'd read scripts. Obviously, we had scripts every day of our lives in front of us. So we were like, why don't we try writing a script? And it went from there to we then ended up writing for Holby City. We wrote for Doctors for a few years.
Fantastic.
We're writing our own stuff now, and this was kind of our side
I feel like
hustle.
you're like saying it as an aside, but you can hear from the audience there. I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah, we did. We've done all right with the writing. Yeah, it took us a year or two to get our first gig, which was Holby City, and then we wrote on that, and then got taken over to Doctors and wrote on that for 2 years.
But it's nice to get passionate about stories in a different way, because we love Emmerdale, well, I know he's not in it anymore, but he still loves it. But we love Emmerdale and, you know, performing, and that's all fantastic. But the first book that we came across that we decided to adapt was called Heroine of the Desert, and it's about a white working-class Muslim convert who risks her life and freedom going to the Middle East to bring kids back to the UK that have been kidnapped. And it's incredible. And you read something like that and you get so passionate and you don't want to stop writing, you want to get out there. So that's where it kind of all started. But
what's your working process, though? I mean, because you're writing about that one subject. Do you sort of interchange ideas and make or do you write separately?
It depends what we're writing for. So when we've written on continuing dramas before, we spend 2 or 3 days, 4 days, maybe a week, kind of beating out the episode. So we roll wallpaper onto the walls and literally write the episode out. This is what's going to happen, this, where and when. Yeah. And then I think naturally we know where our strengths lie. So we go, well, you write that scene, I'll write that scene.
Or you write this kind of story, and then you write this story, and then I'll edit his stuff, he'll edit my stuff, and it goes back
and basically, once we finish the script after 7 or 8, 9 drafts, you forget who's started writing what, because it's been such an amalgamation.
And that relationship that you have in terms of writing, that wouldn't exist in the same way had you not known each other so well and worked together for so long. And I know that Roxy, you've spoken at length about what it's like to be in a continuing drama like Emmerdale when you did Drama Queens, because that series is showing now, isn't it?
That's been so much fun to do. Not as fun for me to watch because I'm very highly strung and I don't like watching myself on TV.
Are you really highly strung?
Stop it.
I would never have known that.
I've been in counselling for 12 months. I'm trying to learn to regulate my nervous system. It's not going well. But I really enjoyed doing the show because it was an opportunity to spend time off-set with some incredible women.
I haven't seen the series. How does that work? What
so basically, it's about women that are in soap. So, some are still in soap, some aren't, but that's kind of what you know them for. And it's a little look at their home life or their passions, whatever it is that they've decided to kind of share. And it's about the real-life friendships. And so it was great fun to do. And I love watching other people's stuff. Just don't like watching my own.
It's a great show, though, isn't it? It's a real kind of girl power show.
Really positive representation of women.
Yeah, and it's given real insight into, especially how hard you guys work.
Absolutely.
And also how you then manage that with the other life. And that's really been a lot of headlines for you, Matthew, obviously, because you are now co-parenting.
Yeah.
And how are you finding this? You know, a lot of change in your life.
Yeah.
You know, sort of, you know, leaving the soap and co-parenting. How are you managing to find, you know, a good midpoint for that?
I think we're still finding our way. I mean, the good thing is me and Charlie are still best mates, and that's fantastic. So it's all quite new to us still at the moment, but we're kind of still finding our feet and finding a way to do it well, and I think we are.
So long as you're talking it through and you're sharing it, that's what co-parenting is all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You'll find your way. So when do we get to watch something else that you two have created together as writers? When will we be able to check?
Oh, we just said a doctors, didn't we? Is that what you said, right?
Yeah, well, one of our doctors
came out this week.
Was just
really?
It's Monday, isn't it? Yeah. So it was last week.
And if anyone wants to watch, what was it called? Sober Social.
Sober Social.
It was called Sober Social. So you will be able to find it on the player.
Yeah.
And but, you're also going to be taking on a new bad boy role, aren't you?
Yeah, but I can't say too much about it.
You can't say too much.
I've been told you can't speak about it.
But it's juicy.
So I'm
Just tell us a little bit.
Well,
Don't listen to Linda.
All I can tell you is I'm
flying
flying out to Malta next month. Well, June and July to film in Malta. And, bit of a different character to me.
And are you a bad boy, Matthew?
Am I a bad boy? Sometimes.
Gloria almost said that with a little twinkle in her eye. Well, to you, Roxy, and to you, Matthew, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.